Hello and welcome back to our YouTube channel. In today's video we're going to be reviewing the game which has just ended, which was Red Bull Leipzig 4, Rangers 0. Stay tuned. As previously stated, the match ended 4-0. The first goal came from Werner, second from Oliver Burke, and third and fourth were a brace from Poulsen. Werner's goal, he made a lovely run, the ball was slotted nicely through our defence to him, he took a pass Wes Fotheringham and passed it with no power whatsoever into the net. This gave Danny Wilson a chance to try and stop the ball, but he slid, touched the ball and it still went into the net on the line. Quite a frustrating goal to watch, particularly as a fan, because you think it could have been stopped and maybe it should have been stopped, but the reality is it wasn't. The second goal came from Oliver Burke. And this was a brilliant example of a counter-attack. What started the goal was very frustrating for me as a fan because it's something that's really haunted us for Rangers fans and the team in general. Josh Windass had the ball in the box. He refused to shoot at his first opportunity. He then took it further into the box, refused to shoot, turns around and passes it to Jason Holt. Jason Holt then loses the ball and that leads to a counter-attack where Oliver Burke then smashes the ball into Fotheringham's right-hand side with real power. It was a good goal, but not very good for a fan to watch. The third goal came from Poulsen. It was a typical kind of goal that Red Bull Leipzig scored, and then they topped it all off with Poulsen scoring a fourth goal. Two of those goals came from counter-attacks, and two of those goals were the counter-attacks that came from Jason Holt giving the ball away. Jason Holt last season was an absolutely class player for us, but this season he hasn't been able to keep up to his best. Him and Halliday are the two names that constantly I see fans tweeting to take out the team. Halliday wasn't seen so often in the game. A couple of times he lost the ball and towards the end he was on the floor because he was absolutely knackered. If there's any players that I like to say performed really well today, I think towards the start of the game, Kenny Miller played really well. He was holding the ball in the field up really well, playing the ball nicely, making nice runs, aged 37. You don't see that often. And also John Terrell was having a fantastic game at the start. Fotheringham made a few good saves and so did Jilks in the second half. But on the whole, our defence was a lot less organised when we had James Tavernier there. He was playing at right back yet again, and when Hodgson came back, our defence seemed to be more sorted out. But it was just the runs, the counter-attacks, the pace, and the passing of Leipzig that made us, well, that found us out. As previously stated, it's a glamour friendly. That's why we've lost 4-0, and I'm not completely and utterly upset over it. I mean, it's against Red Bull Leipzig. They're second in the Bundesliga, and they've only lost one game this season, and that's against Bayern Munich. But to see Michael O'Halloran come on and be the best attacking player in the team, it's really frustrating because him and Waghorn linked up really well, and the best play came towards the last 15 minutes, which is when he was on. His pace is something that no team can handle, even a team with as much pace as Red Bull Leipzig. I don't understand why he's being kept out of the team. That paired with the issue of us not shooting, it took us 71 minutes to have a shot on goal. How was that right? Obviously, we had a shot in the first half with Kenny Miller, but it went into a defender's leg and didn't even reach the keeper. I think that was the only shot we had in the whole first half. Shooting is a real issue with us. We play brilliant football, don't get me wrong. Passing it around defenders in trios and then passing it around to a player that makes a run. Brilliant, that looks amazing, but if we have no penetration to our team whatsoever and no finishing to our team also, how are we meant to give teams real trouble? It's been an issue for us for a long time and I wonder why it hasn't been sorted out yet. Obviously, that being said, it's only a friendly. And it doesn't matter too much in this game. Also, for that 8,000 Rangers fans that travelled to Leipzig for a glamour friendly, hats off to you guys. We heard you throughout all of the game. You were the loudest fans there. It doesn't really take us by surprise because that's what Rangers fans are like, but congratulations to you lot. So as I'm sure you may know, we had two players that are making their debut today. Out of the two, I was far more impressed with Terrell. For the first 20 minutes, he was an absolute beast in our midfield, pairing up with Kenny Miller, playing 1-2s, flicking the ball around players and then making it past them, with a fair distribution after as well. That was all that we could ask for in our midfield. When Hyman came on in the second half, he didn't make as much of an impact as Terrell did, but he was still all in all a good player. Andy Halliday, who was also in the midfield, wasn't really seen most of the game, but he was on the whole game. The only time that I really noticed him as such was when he was making mistakes such as taking heavy touches and allowing a change in possession, or when he was on the floor at the end, just completely and utterly out of breath. The guy needs to be taken off if he's not playing well. If you're not on form, I don't understand why you're playing in the team. Personally, I do like Andy Halliday, but I think he's definitely favoured when it comes to team selection. If you like the video or like Rangers content whatsoever, make sure that you hit like and above all, subscribe. If you like Rangers content, please go over and sub to We Welcome the Chase podcast. Honestly, they're so funny and they're so professional at what they do too. Other shout outs go to Rangers fan page on Instagram, Rangers Picks on Instagram, and our Twitter is here. It's at All Things Jers. Make sure that you go and follow. All links will be in the description. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.
Do you want to see more of Ben's wee napper? Well, like and subscribe for more Jers content.